guys, good day. It's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class, it's all about dividing polynomial using long division. So without further ado, let's do this topic. So once again, this is actually requested from our students and our subscribers in Facebook and YouTube. I would like to give thanks and shout out to them. This answer is for you, class. Now, this is already part 2 of our video, class. The part 1 of our video, we answered this one. So we just answered this one in the part 1. So feel free to see the link on the description down below with regards to the part 1 of our video. This time, class, this will be part 2 of our video and we will be answering this question. Alright, so without further ado, let's start. Now, before dividing this polynomial, class, you check the dividend if it's arranged. So once again, this is our dividend. This will be our divisor. Let me copy first the divisor, class. We have 2x squared plus x minus 1. Alright, so we divide this one into our divisor. This will be our divisor, class. Divide. So our divisor, class, you check if it's arranged. So is it arranged? We have x raised to the power of 4. We have x cubed and x squared. So it's not arranged, class. Always remember this one, class. Before dividing the polynomials, you check the degree or the exponent if it's arranged. So therefore, x raised to the power of 4 comes first before x cubed or before x squared. So this will be 2x raised to the power of 4. Alright, next will be 7x plus 7, positive 7x cubed. Then next will be x squared plus 10x squared. And next is 8. No, we don't have a number together with a variable x. Okay, check the equation, because we have x raised to the power of 4, we have cube, we have squared, and next will be x, class. We don't have x, so we will just write plus 0x. Once again, a number together with x with the exponent of 1. We don't have here in our equation, so that's why we write 0x. Then the last thing, class, the last part will be the constant, positive 8. Once again, class, if you don't have x squared, if you don't have x cubed, just write 0. 0x cubed or 0x squared if you don't have the value, class. So we just arrange, class. We have x raised to the power of 4 comes first, then 7x cubed, x squared, then before x squared, class, before it is 8, it should be x. Then 8 will be the last. The constant will be the last part. Alright, so we just arranged. Then let's solve, class. Let's solve this one. Alright, so bear with me. We will be solving this one step by step for you to really understand this one, class. Let's solve this one step by step. Alright, let me straight the line, class. Okay, we will solve this one step by step. Alright, let's start. So first thing to do, class, you divide the leading term by the first term. So 2x raised to the power of 4 divided by 2x squared. Once again, you divide this one, the leading term by the first term. So 2x raised to the power of 4 divide 2x squared, 2x squared. So 2 divided by 2, that's 1. X raised to the power of 4 divided by x squared, simply copy x, copy the base. Then you subtract the exponent, class. 4 minus 2. So the answer is 1x raised to the power of 2. Once again, class, when you're dividing algebraic expression, when you're dividing the variable together with exponent, you simply copy the variable, copy the base, we call it base, x, then you subtract the exponent. 4 minus 2, that would be 2. So we have 1x squared. Alright, so 1x squared, or you can write it x squared, class. That's the same. X squared. Now, since your answer is x squared, you need to align your answer in x squared. Okay, so you align your answer here in 10x squared. So that would be x squared. Alright, so x squared. Once again, 2x raised to the power of 4 divided by 2x squared, your answer is 1x squared or x squared. Then you multiply, class. X squared times 2x squared. You multiply x squared times 2x squared. So x squared times 2x squared. So once again, understood that there's 1 here. Now in multiplying, class, you multiply the numbers. 1 times 2 is 2. Then you multiply the x squared and x squared. Copy the base, copy x. Then you add the exponent class. 2 plus 2, that is 4. 2 plus 2, so your answer is 2x raised to the power of 4. Alright, so once again, when you're dividing polynomials or algebraic expression, you copy the base, then you subtract the exponents. Okay, 4 minus 2, that is 2. Now, when you're multiplying, the product rule, you multiply the numbers, you copy the base, copy x, then you add the exponent. Okay, in multiplying, you add the exponent class. In dividing, you subtract the exponent. So, x squared times 2x squared, that would be 2x raised to the power of 4. 2x raised to the power of 4. Alright, and then, once again, you divide this one, 2x raised to the power of 4 divided by 2x squared, that's x squared. Then once you get x squared, you multiply class every in this equation. So x squared times 2x squared, that will be 2x raised to the power of 4. X squared times x, so x squared times x. So understood that there's 1 here. So 1 times 1 is 1. X squared and x multiply. You copy x, then you add the exponent. Understood that there's 1 here. So 2 plus 1. That would be 1x raised to the power of 3. 1x cubed, or you can just simply write x cubed. That's the same. Okay, plus x cubed. Alright, and then you multiply again. X squared times negative 1. X squared times negative 1. Understood that there's 1 here. So 1 times negative 1, that's negative 1. X squared times none. X squared times none, simply copy. So negative 1x squared, or you can write negative x squared. That's the same. Negative x squared minus x squared. Alright, and then you put parentheses class. You put parentheses. We already explained that in the part 1. You put parentheses. Now, let me just explain it here. Why do we need to put parentheses class? Once again, after you multiply, you need to subtract, right? You need to subtract. Now, once you subtract class, you need to put parentheses, because if you will not put parentheses, therefore, you just simply subtract this first term. Minus, then you just simply subtract this first term, not all terms. So once again, we need to put parentheses because this is just not monomial class. It is 3 terms, trinomial. That's why we need to put parentheses, because we need to subtract all of the terms class. That's why we need to put parentheses. And then you put this horizontal line. Subtract. Now when you're subtracting class, always remember this one. You change the sign of the subtrahend, then you proceed to addition. That's the rule there class. You change the sign of the subtrahend, then proceed to addition. So we will change this sign. This is minus sign. We proceed to addition, and we will be changing the sign of the subtrahend. So this is positive 2x raised to the power of 4. It will be negative. Okay, this will be negative. This is positive. It will be negative. This is negative. It will be positive. So you follow the blue one class. We change this sign. This is negative. This is positive. It will be negative. This is positive. It will be negative. And this is negative. It will be positive. So you follow the blue one class. So 2x raised to the power of 4 minus. This is positive. It becomes negative. 2x raised to the power of 4 minus 2x raised to the power of 4. You can just simply cancel it out, because that is 0. Cancel this out. Alright, and then 7x cubed minus x cubed. So 7x cubed minus x cubed. So once again, understood that there's 1 here. So 7 minus 1 is 6. Then copy the literal coefficient. Copy x cubed class. That's it. Easy, right? When you're subtracting. So this will be 6x cubed. Then this is negative. This is negative, and you change the sign, it will be positive. So 10x squared plus, understood that there's 1 here, 10x squared plus 1x squared. So this will be positive. That will be 11x squared. Once again, 10x squared plus x squared. Understood that there's 1 here. Because this is negative, we change it into positive. So that would be 11x squared. Alright, and then you bring down 0x. Positive 0x. Alright, so next step class, you divide x cubed, this leading term of your answer, x cubed, 6x cubed divided by 2x squared. So 6x cubed divide 2x squared. So once again, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then simply subtract the exponent class. Copy x, then subtract the exponent. 3 minus 2, that is 1. Or 3x class. Once again, this will be 3x raised to the power of 3 minus 2. Subtract the exponent. 3 minus 2, that would be 3x raised to the power of 1, or simply 3x. Alright, so this will be 3x. Positive 3x. So you align your answer in x. 6x cubed divided by 2x squared, that is 3x. Then once you get the answer here, you multiply every in this equation of the divisor. So 3x times 2x squared. 3x times 2x squared. So 3 times 2 is 6. Then once again, understood that there's 1 here. If you're multiplying, you add the exponent. So copy x, then you add 1 plus 2, that is 3. So that would be 6x cubed. Then 3x times x. So once again, you multiply every in this equation. So 3x times x, 3x times x. So understood that there's 1 here. Always remember that 1 class in x. So 3 times 1 is 3. Then x times x, that would be x squared. You add the exponent class. 1 plus 1, that is 2. 3x squared. So positive 3x squared. Then 3x times negative 1. 3x times negative 1. 3 times negative 1, that's negative 3. X times none, copy. Negative 3x minus 3x. Alright, and then we change the sign. But before that, we put parentheses. Then subtract. We change the sign again. We change the sign of this. Subtrahend, then proceed to addition. So this is positive. It will be negative. So it will be negative. I will just put parentheses. This will be negative. This is positive. It will be negative. This is negative. It will be positive. So you follow the blue one, class. You follow the blue one. So we change this into addition. Change the sign of the subtrahend, then proceed to addition. So 6x cubed minus 6x cubed. Cancel this out. This will be 0. X squared minus, this is positive a while ago. We changed that to minus. So 11x squared minus 3x squared, that would be 8x squared. So 11 minus 3 is 8, copy x squared. Then 0x plus 3x, so we change the sign into positive. So 0x plus 3x, that would be positive 3x. Then you bring down 8. Positive 8. Alright, so almost done. Last part. We're almost done. You divide 8x squared divided by 2x squared. So 8x squared divide 2x squared. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. X squared divided by x squared, simply cancel. Cancel this out. So that would be positive 4. Plus 4. Alright, and then you multiply. Once you get the answer, when dividing the leading term by the first term of the divisor, you multiply 4 every in this equation. So 4 times 2x squared. So 4 times 2x squared. So 4 times 2 is 8. X squared times none, copy. So positive 8x squared. Alright, and then multiply 4 times x. So 4 times x, that would be 4x. Positive 4x. Alright, and then last part, 4 times negative 1. 4 times negative 1. 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4. Positive times negative is negative. 4 times 1 is 4. Once again, always remember, when you're multiplying unlike signs, the answer is always negative. 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4. So negative 4. Alright, and then you put parentheses. Then minus. So once again, rules in subtracting polynomials, you change the sign of the subtrahend, then proceed to addition. Let's change the sign, class. This is positive 8x squared. It will be negative 8x squared. This is positive. It will be negative. This is negative. It will be positive. So you follow the blue one, class, for you not to be confused. And you change this operation to plus. So 8x squared minus 8x squared, this will be cancel. This will be 0. So cancel that out. 8x squared minus 8x squared, that is 0. And then this one, positive 3x minus 4x. So positive positive 3x minus 4x. So once again, we have positive and negative. If the signs are not the same, you subtract. 4 minus 3 is negative 1. Or sorry, if the signs are not the same, you subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Then you copy the sign of the larger number. Copy the sign of 4 class. This is negative 1. And then simply copy x. Once again, positive 3x minus 4x. If the signs are not the same, you subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Then you copy the sign of 4. 4 is greater than 3. We have negative 1. Simply copy x. Or, that's the same class. Negative 1x is just the same with x. Negative x. That's the same class. Negative 1x is just the same with negative x. Understood that there's one here. And then, positive 8 plus 4. Positive 8 plus 4, that's positive 12. That's it, class. We don't have a thing that we need to bring down, so this will be our remainder. So this will be our remainder, class. Alright, so to write your remainder in your answer, so we will be writing the remainder. So the remainder will be remainder negative x plus 12 over your divisor, class. 2x squared plus x minus 1. So that would be your remainder, class. Or there are some cases that the teacher will write this one into. So let me write this one, class. So this is our remainder, negative x plus 12 over 2x squared plus x minus 1. You can write it this way. Or there are some teachers, you pause the video, class, I will be erasing this part. There are some teachers that they will write it in this way. Okay, there are some teachers that they will write it in this way. Plus, you plus the remainder, class. Plus this one, negative, I will just put parenthesis, class, because this is negative, minus x plus 12 over this one, 2x squared plus x minus 1. Alright, so that's it, class. That's how you find, or that's how you divide the polynomials using long division. So this will be our remainder, class. So that's it. So I hope you learned something new today. And if you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends, class, and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day. Bye-bye.